Hello, Shooting Daggers.
Hi.
Hello, my dears. How's it going? How are you enjoying 0161 so far? I know you've just got here, but like, what's the vibe? What are you feeling?
It seems pretty cool. Like very like dark vibe, but, but I like it. It's pretty genuine. Fest. It seems cool.
Yeah. No, it's been good. And how did your gig with Deaf Girls go yesterday?
Amazing.
Yeah, it was good. Like so many girls, so many queers were dancing at the end of the set. It was so cool. Like we were so happy. I wanted to cry. It was so good. So good. And Deaf Girls are the nicest band we've ever played with. So
no way.
Yeah.
Sick. That's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah. And obviously you guys brought out a new EP last year, Athames, which I'm pronouncing right-ish. We all fucking went that we have no idea how to pronounce it either, so it's fine. But on your Instagram you've already been kind of threatening that you've got like new music coming out.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything that you can tell us about that, or?
I don't know what we can say about it, but yeah.
I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. We are planning to release a new album next year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we can say, right?
We are in recording process.
Yes.
Okay, amazing.
We're gonna do in a few steps just because we are really busy. We couldn't get on all session at once, but hopefully by the end of the summer it's gonna be recorded, and then hopefully next year it's gonna come out.
Amazing. You have been bashing them out, to be fair. Like, your EP was amazing. Like, you know, like Liar as a single is just like fucking sick, and then you know, threatening on new music. It's so cool. Like, very sick.
I can't wait to play new songs on stage as well. 'Cause we've been playing this set for, I mean, it's not been too long, but we've been playing this set for a while. I can't wait to have new songs. Yeah. And this one, like this new album is going to be a bit different, like a bit more experimental, so I can't wait to, not too much, but can't wait to play new songs.
Yeah.
And we'll have them by August, so can't wait.
Cool.
But the album is not going to be out in August, it's going to be out later.
Wow.
We don't have a date.
Okay, yeah. No, sick, that's enough. Like, that's fine, that's fine. Enough of a teaser, that's very cool. But you guys are kind of like amongst a proper like new wave of punk that's kind of bringing queerness to the front of your music. And like, I mean, obviously like about fucking time, I think it's ridiculous that like being queer hasn't been a kind of like massive subject in punk. But what do you feel that your experiences as a queer person are in the punk scene, and also why do you feel that it is so important to be so fucking out there about being queer? Why do you feel that that is so important?
Okay, big question.
Let's get into it. Let's go.
I mean, being queer in the punk scene, I don't think it's pretty feel normal. Like everyone is kind of an outcast anyway. Anyone could be queer. I don't never felt like, oh, there's no queer people. There's so many queer people, and that's probably why I was you were expecting to be way more queercore bands, because you look around yourself at the gigs and you see all the people and they all look queer to me, at least.
But it's not been talked about though.
Yeah.
It's only in the last 5 years that being queer has become a massive thing in the punk scene and a big point of identity.
Yeah. Probably, I don't know. I think it comes together with having more women as well. I think it's kind of correlated because it kind of brings a bit of femininity to the front. So not being afraid, mainly hardcore, or not being afraid of not being macho, not being hardcore. So maybe the old concept like having more women in bands automatically also brings people being more open about
the sexuality.
I think it's like feminism and LGBT rights always go pair to pair. I think. So that's. But I don't know. I should like do some research to.
Well, you don't have that kind of like toxic masculinity kind of thing, like in the way, I suppose. But then also like as women, there's a lot of stuff holding us back. But I do think that there is a big thing of it being a real barrier for men, because there's the toxic masculinity involved in the scene. So I totally know what you mean about it kind of being women really help that scene. Is there anything you have to add, Sal?
I think I would say that like queer people is, to me, it's just people that don't fit into, when I think about queer, I think about all the people that don't fit into punk in general, like people that felt too like outcasts in the punk scene. So it could be like trans people, it can be not necessarily like gay people, because some gay people are well accepted in the scene, but it's all the people that don't feel like they belong. Basically, to me, is more that than sexuality. It's more,
gender, how you present yourself.
Yeah, or trans people, or non-binary people. More that, like, gender identity more than than sexuality.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel punks already pretty accepting with like being gay. I mean, most of them are gay or like. Yeah, to me,
in the
queer,
DIY scene, I don't know if in the wider punk scene.
Yeah, exactly. In the DIY
yeah.
scene, a lot of people are pretty open about that already. Yeah. It's more about being an outcast than sexuality.
Yeah. And there's such like a massive spectrum of like what queerness and what LGBT means, that it's brilliant that like even if people don't really feel like they've got a label, it's like they can still be represented. 'Cause it's like, well, I don't feel straight, but I don't feel gay, but I feel this weird kind of like identity difference that isn't always represented. And then you see bands like you guys and it's like, oh, I feel weird and it's okay to feel weird. That it's like you guys feel weird as well, and that's great. Like, no, it's really nice, like, you know, like you guys and like other bands like Toki Horror, like just being like fucking queerness, like absolute femme rage is just incredible. Like, I love it. It's very cool.
About time.
In it, right? About fucking time. About time. Yeah. I mean, and also like on the subject of kind of femme rage, your Liar video is absolutely class. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was very cool. Do you have any other music videos in the pipeline, or what are your thoughts on that?
We want some music videos.
Yeah?
We don't have anything planned yet, but we want that. We want more videos. Yeah. So that's all we can say, I guess.
It was sick. It was so sick. Like, I loved it, and I was just proper like getting into it, like all the different, you know, I mean, it's basically a video about like women just murdering people, and I was like, sick.
Yeah, you had to be like, it was a PG-18, like we had problem on YouTube as well.
Really? No way.
Yeah, like our label was like, we can publish him up. Yeah, you know, it's gonna be just for 18 plus. It was like, well, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, mate, it's
We're not gonna hold back the message.
No, and you don't want to censor yourself.
Yeah,
like, no, it's fine.
Yeah,
that totally makes sense. But also, like, on the subject of some of the lines that are in Liar, like, they are really powerful. You know, kind of standing up for yourself, and also the subject of like that I think a lot of women and people of marginalised genders can relate to, of not putting up with abuse, and like I just, you know, it's really needed. Can you tell me a little bit about what that song is about and where the subjects come from?
Liar?
Yeah, Liar. It's about abusers in the scene, because we've heard so many stories of generally cis men like sexually abusing or like raping women in the scene, and like their words, like the words of the victim, never really counted. Like, it's just people keep supporting them, people keep playing with them, and it's as if nothing happened. So I guess it's about that. It's also about personal experience, because like I've heard stuff, we've been through it.
Yeah.
And it's basically, it's damaging forever. So that's basically what it is about, like calling them out. And that's it, just calling them out and talking about personal experience.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah.
And I think a lot of these things as well, like, start on the base level. It started raining. It's like, it starts on the base level though, of like, it's not always about women being raped. A lot of it is about like casual sexism, misogyny, or even things like being spiked at gigs, or like people being creepy to younger people, or even walking past someone and touching someone on the waist. The amount of times that has fucking happened, that I've been going to gigs as like a young woman. Oh my god, all the time. I'm so sick of it. And then you say it to someone that doesn't understand, and they're just like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's like, yeah, but when it's every gig and it's constant, and you're constantly being touched in a way that you don't really want to be touched, and challenging things at that base level is really how you stop the higher, more abusive situations happening.
And you feel crazy because like you feel like, oh yeah, but they just touch your waist, they just pass behind you and then touch your waist. But no, it's like actually it's shit. Don't do this. And people would feel like it's not a big thing, but it's a big thing. So I mean, feeling that you have to crave male attention, or that you just have to deal with these kind of situations. It's like men wouldn't put up with that. Like, if a man touched a man's waist walking past them, they'd be like, oh no. And it's like the fact that it's okay to do that to a young woman though, and it's just like, nah, it's not fucking cool at all. Like, you just have to swallow it, and like just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And no, that's not okay. That's not okay.
And just deal with it. And the fact that to get through life and like be in this scene, you have to cope with these small little things constantly. It's such a big thing to like have those subjects in your song and make people feel seen, because even though we can't always stop these things in an individual basis, like bringing it to the forefront and being like, you can't touch me, and having these subjects about, you know, being an abuser and that not being okay at the base level and at the higher levels is so important. It's so important to be talked about in the scene. So you guys should be super proud of yourselves that like the things that you're shouting about and the representation that you're giving to people, it is really mint. Yeah, it's all right, mate. It's all right, mate. It's all right. It's all good. No. You are very seen and like very appreciated from a fellow queer femme person. Like, mate, it's about fucking time that there was like people in lineups that, you know, actually representing people that are in the crowds as well that want to come to punk gigs. Like, it's fucking brilliant. But also there are loads of other fucking amazing feminist bands at the moment that are in the scene, and like, which is great. But what music are you guys listening to at the moment? What bands do you want to kind of plug or that you've been seeing at the moment?
I mean, do you mean like in this local scene or in general?
I mean, in general, really, like anything, really.
Well, Combat Clit for sure.
Yeah, Hastings,
Yes,
good vibes. Yeah,
They're so cool.
yeah.
They're so cool. Also, yeah, the EP is really good. Well, what I listen to. I mean, I would say Skull, but like Skull are changing
Yeah?
something, I feel like.
Cool.
Pest Control.
Yeah.
Pest Control, amazing. Gender Warfare.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know.
No. Any bands that you're listening to at the moment, Raquel? What about you?
Oh, the same ones, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed actually recently because I'm like big Petrol Girls fan, and you guys have done gigs with Petrol Girls before, like yeah, absolutely mint, aren't they?
Yeah.
And like I really actually loved, because you guys have a song called Manic Pixie Dream Girl, and Petrol Girls also have a song called Protagonist, which is about not being a manic pixie dream girl and being the main character in a song. And I was like listening, and I've got like had like a playlist that you guys and Petrol Girls were on, and I was like, this is an amazing like fucking theme that is being brought out about being like, because both of you use that same term, manic pixie dream girl, and it's sick. And I actually didn't realise how much of a thing it was until I was listening to music and being like, oh my god, that might be something that I get put into the section of, and it's like, oh, I'm not the main character, I'm just this like, you know, weird little thing to help the man along. And it's like, it's brilliant, man.
And they make
like,
it seem like you're the main character because you're like quirky, like those Manic Pixie Dream Girls, they're quirky and they seem like to be the main character, but actually they're just here for the male protagonist.
to further the plot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you're either a sidekick or like a Manic Pixie Dream Girl. You're never really the center of attention.
Yeah. If you're weird, you can't be the main character. You're just the weird one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't be yourself, basically.
Yeah. No, it's very cool. Like, it was just lovely listening to lots of like different feminist bands recently and being like, wow, there's so many things that connect. It's like, it's lovely, like really fun, cool. Yeah. And just as a kind of like last kind of question, who are you guys excited about seeing this weekend? Are you staying for tomorrow as well, or is it just tonight?
No, we're just staying tonight.
Okay.
We're going off.
Going off are going to be immense.
We've been playing with them a lot.
Yeah.
Fucking love them. Well, Circonan and Migraines, they're playing after us.
Yeah.
With the Migraines, been loving them for ages. We never played together yet, and I'm pretty excited. Circonan are pretty cool.
Yeah, Circonan are going to be really good. Like,
hopefully I'm gonna be awake.
I know, it's a long day today, isn't it? Like, bands started at like, I don't know, like 2, half 2, and then the last band's on at 1. Like, I was like, woo! Like, I know I'm young, but wow, I'm tired. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. Yeah, and there's a lot of good bands on the lineup. I think tomorrow as well, there's going to be some really good bands, but I think as we get a bit later with Migraines and Circle Nun, and also Oi Polloi, like, it's so good to see like such a range of ages and types of people that also still stand by the same kind of like DIY ideals. Like, it's very cool. It's very cool. But yeah, I'm very excited to see your set, and I think it's gonna be mint. But yeah, thank you guys for having a little interview with us. That's very cool. And yeah, nice to meet you properly, and like see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Nice one. Cool. Sick.